You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. My name is Connor. I'm one of the hosts of the show, and I'm joined, as always, in studio by Chris Appel. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well.
And our producer, friend, leader,
Yeah!
Dick Schisler. How you doing, Dick?
I'm doing well, man.
All
It's
right.
It's been a good week.
Has it? And you got a
Yeah.
big thing coming up this weekend.
Yeah, actually, for those who are listening right now, we're going to be doing a live broadcast from the Montgomery County 61st Annual Montgomery County Fair Cook-Off, Barbecue Cook-Off.
Nailed it.
And yours truly will be a cook-off judge.
Oh, so you get to be a legit judge.
They asked me to be a legit judge, and
so
I
you
kind
get
of
to eat like
laughed.
tons of barbecue. And what do you know about judging barbecue?
Well, I smoke myself, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, but just because you have smoked like a brisket doesn't mean you're a judge.
Well, he knows what not to do.
Okay, yeah.
I would think.
I know what brisket is.
That's a start.
That's a good thing.
That's a start.
Yeah.
So
But,
basically, it's like, this is yummy, but this is really yummy.
Well, what's funny is I was.
I'll give this 3 num-nums.
Well, three cherry balls.
3
Oh.
cherry bowl of cherries.
This one's a dingleberry.
Yeah.
But no, what's funny is I was helping them out doing promotions, and I went to their Thursday before launches kind of thing, and they came out they're like, "Oh, hey, would you want to be a judge?" And I was like, "What does that consist of? Like, what do I have to do?" And she's like, "Well, don't worry, you're not going to be a finalist judge or anything." So basically, they already have the serious judges because there's 143 teams.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So I was like, "How am I going to eat 143 pieces of brisket?" And she's like, "You're not going to be doing that, honey."
I can do it.
And she was real.
Honey.
And basically, I'm going to be like the preliminary round, and it's going to. I mean, I probably won't have like a real big influence, but
But if you want to bribe him, if you're doing the cook-off,
Yeah, for sure.
Dick is wide open to
Yeah.
bribes. This will be the only year that he gets to do that. Well, welcome to the Ticket Stub. We come live every Thursday on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. We're also worldwide on irlonestar.com. You can go to irlonestar.com/TTS and find out all about the show. Also, make sure you're following us on social media. Twitter @the_ticketstub is how you're going to hear about what's going on with the show, ticket giveaways, things like that. And also make sure you're subscribing to our podcast. Every Friday morning at 8 a.m., it'll show up in your podcast app, whichever one you use to listen to the podcast. So make sure that you're doing all that stuff. We've got a good show today. We're going to be doing some movie news as usual. We're going to be rewinding movies that we've seen over the last week. We're going to be interviewing. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Dick, you better watch the movie real quick. We're going to be doing a special interview with some representatives from the National Black Film Festival. The second annual is happening here in Houston. So we're excited to talk with them, get to find out a little bit more about the film festival and what all that's going to be like, what's going to go into it, and some opportunities for you as a listener. Maybe you want to go check it out. That's coming up in a couple weeks on May 2nd through 5th in downtown Houston. So stick around for that also. And we want to talk that we are doing a live recorded, well, I don't know, does this make sense? A live recorded broadcast?
It's a live taping.
A live taping.
live taping.
Okay, that's
there
the
we
word.
go.
Yeah.
And it is going to be on Sunday, the 22nd, whatever that Sunday is, the 22nd at the Grand Theater. So,
Yes.
so Chris, tell us about it. What are we doing? What time?
Well, we are going to be at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So the 3 of us will be there. We'll be in the
Do
lobby.
we know the runtime of Rampage?
Yeah,
Because
we
it starts
actually-
at 1, right?
It'll be done by 3. Oh,
Okay.
oh, will it? Well, I'll check it out. I think it's right under 2 hours.
Basically, how would we just tell them after Rampage?
It'll be around about 3. Okay.
Well, we want them to come see Rampage. So at 1 o'clock?
Yeah. So come see Rampage at 1 o'clock, and then you can, watch this train wreck of a show afterwards.
So on Sunday, the 22nd, the 3 of us together.
Yes.
Are we going to sit together?
Oh, for sure.
Are we going to share a popcorn?
I'll bring the flask.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's right,
No.
Chris.
X-nay on
Yeah.
the outplay.
Yeah. Purchase all your alcohol, please.
But so we're
From
going
the theater.
So the Grand Theater in Conroe, the 3 of us together are going to watch Rampage, which if you don't know what that is, then prepare to be amazed. It is The Rock and a giant gorilla and a giant shark.
Hold on, is the
Squirrel.
gorilla the Rock?
No, I think it. So what I understand from the trailer is that it starts out as like his pet, or he's like a zoologist or something.
No, I meant
That's
more the motion
believable.
capture. Like I could totally see it being a dual role for him.
Okay.
Oh,
Because you know
awesome.
what's his name? Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
You know, he was Groot.
What was that movie, like
So-
Dragonheart or whatever,
They
where the
motion-
man and the dragon shared a heart, and they like when
Yeah.
one died, the other died.
Dragonheart.
Yeah, that was.
Was Sean Connery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it? There was 2 dragon movies, like we talked about last week. There was like 2 movies about dragons that came out about the
Yeah.
same time. But, anyways.
Wait. Vin Diesel motion captured.
Yeah,
Groot?
he did Groot.
Oh man, I'd love to see that.
Well, really, he was on stilts and stuff.
No, he was not.
I promise. Look
I would
it up.
love to see that.
But if
Look
so,
it
If so,
up.
he really earned his money then, because all he said was Groot.
Yeah, I don't.
Groot.
Well, that's
I don't
why
get the
I
point of it,
wonder
really.
if Dwayne goes, "Hey,
Well, Dwayne also
don't
is
bother
an actor.
hiring anybody.
Oh, he'll do it all.
I'll do the
yeah.
gorilla. I'll do the gorilla."
What if he was all 3 of them, and so he had to motion capture like fighting himself? But that would be method. That would be true. Like,
No, I mean, because weren't we talking about how's Dwayne gonna get a Oscar one year? How's he gonna
Yeah.
do it? That's the way he's gonna do it.
Not true, because Andy Serkis should already have one for that, and
That's a
he
good
does
point.
not.
So, anyways, long story short, the 22nd on Sunday, we are going to be at. That's just in a few days from now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of surprised. Like,
Yeah.
it's like in 3 days, dude.
Yeah, in 3 days, we're going to be at the Grand Theater at the one. It starts at 1 sharp, right?
One sharp.
1 sharp. We're going to be watching Rampage together. Afterwards, we're going to be set up in the lobby of the Grand Theater. So.
Oh, not the party room.
Are we going to be in the party room?
Wherever you want to be. I don't
Okay,
care.
we obviously need to figure out some more details about this because we're
I'm just kidding.
Well,
we won't be out in the
it'd be-
open.
yeah,
so
it'd be in the
we'll
lobby.
fine.
Yeah, we'll be in the lobby because people are going to come by. Are we going to talk to anybody after the show about what they thought about Rampage?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so if you see it with us, come on over to where we're going to be set up and let us know what you think. And we'll be talking a little bit of Rampage, and that will be our show for
Man,
actually.
that movie's gonna be so good.
And then that's the show, and that's the episode we're going to release the next Thursday. It'll be a recorded episode. So
Did you see the article of the interview with Dwayne that he basically changed the ending of the movie?
no,
He was gonna drop out of the movie.
because the ending was stupid or something.
Well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty. He basically goes, we're not saving Private Ryan here. We're not trying to bring people down when they go to the movie theater. We're trying to, when I go people to come see me in the theater, I want them leaving, pumped up and
Dude,
happy.
he knows his brand, and
I know.
he
Yeah.
plays that brand up. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing next week. So,
I'm getting pepped up
woo!
for Dwayne.
Man, I
Is it
can't-
The Rock? Is he go by The Rock or is it Dwayne Johnson?
Well,
Any credits?
I think he's pretty much embraced The Rock, but Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson, I think.
Yeah, I think
is
it's
the,
a combination.
is the correct way to do it. All right. Well, we're gonna kick this show off. We're gonna quit talking about next show. We're gonna kick this show off talking about some movie news, things that are going on in the world of movies. An article from CNET.com said that Steven Spielberg is set to make a DC Black Hawk movie. So Black Hawk, again, I'm so terrible at superheroes. I guess Black Hawk is a superhero from the DC universe. The article said something about him killing Nazis. I don't really know what that was all about. But more than him directing the actual movie, Spielberg is currently 71 years old. He has 3 movies in the pipe before this one, including an Indiana Jones movie to come out, later next year. Like, at some point, are you too old to direct a comic book
Well,
movie?
I mean, no, they got a
No?
No, they've got. There's a clause in Hollywood that if Steven Spielberg dies during the making of a film, or if he's got one planned out, that George Lucas actually takes over. So we've got that to look forward.
That can't
to.
be real. Okay.
Wait,
Well,
are you
obviously
April
it's
Fools in this? Or?
Obviously, it's not real.
Oh.
Does
Oh,
that
I could
sound
totally-
real?
No,
Who
that's
would
why.
let-
Well,
that's
Who
why.
would let George Lucas do anything at this point?
He basically made some of the best movies ever, so.
And then tinkered with them.
Yeah, and then ruin them.
Yeah,
that,
and
that
ruin
is correct. Well, but I wonder.
He did do Howard the Duck.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and you like that one, right?
Retracted.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah.
Retracted.
Well, so anyways, sorry we ruined your joke, Chris. That was really funny. So
okay.
Well, it seemed believable. It really does, because they're their
That's my
buddies.
acting
Hey.
ability.
Well,
there.
who else do you think would take over? I mean, I could totally
his
see.
son, Stevie Spielberg.
yeah.
Jr. Yeah.
I could totally see him raising his hand.
I hear-
George going, "Hey,
Yeah.
just let me do it."
Well, at some point they have to have a contingency plan for these guys dying in the middle of production, right?
I hear Bryan Singer's not doing anything. So.
Yeah, I like Bryan Singer, but I mean, honestly, like 71 years old, the average life expectancy is like 78 or something like that, and he's not just living like a retirement life in South Florida. Like he's on the set of a movie. That must be stressful. That must be high. That must be high intensity.
But he's
high-
also been doing this, man, for like 40
Yeah.
years. So.
I guess.
I say let him go.
But also,
till-
do you think that he's
end.
kind of like
Until he ends his life.
at some point? Do you think there's like another guy really pulling the strings, and he's just kind of like the face they attach to it?
No, I think there's certain roles, and when you hear about him being the head of the movie, he's involved.
Yeah.
But there's certain other movies that's like, produced by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
This is, J.J. Abrams lost. It's gonna be he was all him, but it wasn't.
Yeah, Tarantino I know has done that a few times where it's like a production of, but he's not really affiliated with it at all. Well, I'll tell you this: Ready Player One was good, so he was in charge of that. It was good, so I guess he's still got it for now. It'll be interesting to see, how all that goes. Steven Spielberg still pumping them out. Action movie. That just seems like such a high stress thing for like a mid-70s guy to be messing with. But anyways,
Really
I feel like you
stressful.
want him to pass away.
It sounds like it.
Like, why is
Yeah.
this that big of a surprise to you that he's making a movie?
I'm rooting for it. I'm really hoping that he does. Okay, so next article, Forbes.com, Netflix, because the internet is just tracking us nonstop now. Netflix is tracking which movies get stopped, especially scary movies, and they're calling them movies that are too scary to finish.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
It has me written all over it.
So they came up with 10 movies, the top 10 movies that according to their research are, and this is what they said is if they stopped it before 70%. So no, you could say maybe because they're bad and people start them, or also maybe some people just don't finish Netflix movies, So, but whatever it is, they have their little analytics here. Here are the top 10 movies according to their list too scary to finish: Cabin Fever, Carnage Park, I don't even know what that is. Mexico Barbaro, don't know what that is. Piranha, was that a scary movie? Piranha, I thought that was one of those like stupid
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, the original.
Raw. I don't know what that is. Teeth,
I saw that.
I don't know what Teeth is. The Conjuring, that actually is scary, right?
Not turn it off scary.
The Void, Jerusalem. I don't know most of these movies. And then
Now I kind of want to check them all out.
but then Human Centipede 2. No, I'm on board with
oh,
that.
that movie was intense.
Nah.
He would do this like.
Oh, that was the creepiest. That really was probably the most.
By the
disturbing.
way, we're sponsored by Movie Tavern.
Oh, yeah.
Movies never tasted so good.
Oh, gross. We need to get the voice of that or the sound of that guy.
Gross.
No.
Oh, Human Centipede 2 was rough. Chris, I know that you're kind of a scary movie guy, right? You like them.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this list stupid? What do you think?
I think that this is a problem with the safe spaces and the
Uh-oh.
snowflake
Uh-oh.
crowd that cannot handle
Oh
anything.
man.
Go on your
I'm
rant.
just saying. I'm not going on a rant. I'm just saying they can't handle anything.
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie that's too scary that I have to shut it off at any point. That I'm so scared that I have to shut it off. I don't even get that. I don't know where that stat comes from. I don't think it shouldn't be accurate. And if it is, that's pretty scary itself.
Ooh, the scariest thing of all is the statistic.
Yes,
right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. Whenever I'm watching a scary movie and I am
man.
scared, I like to finish it to the end because a lot of
Yeah.
times there's kind of resolution and it makes you feel a little bit better by the end of the movie. Sometimes, I guess, is not the case. Like,
Now, if I saw Blair Witch in the theaters and it scared me to death, and I didn't walk out,
yeah,
I stayed.
because you're a real man. You're
Yeah.
a big boy. Well, Netflix, for whatever it is, they've got their top 10 scary movies, too scary to finish on Forbes.com. You should check it out and see if there's a couple of those. Maybe you could watch them and let us know on a.
I want to know what Jerusalem's all
It's with
about.
a Z, Jerusalem.
Oh.
No, you need to see Teeth.
Is that pretty bad?
No, it's not bad.
Is it scary? I mean, pretty.
It's not scary. I can't even tell you the plot.
We were asking
Okay.
the wrong guy
Yeah.
because clearly he's a Stonewall.
No, yeah. The plot of Teeth is a
Isn't
lady has teeth in her lady areas.
Oh, gosh.
Of course you like that movie.
No.
All right, last thing.
My wife wanted to watch it.
Last thing before we go to break, Rotten Tomatoes put out a pre-summer movie calendar. I guess you can find this anywhere, but I found it on Rotten Tomatoes. It was kind of just a breakdown of summer movies. Some highlights for each month. I just put a couple movies for each month. May has Deadpool 2 and Solo. June has Ocean's 8, Jurassic World, Sicario. July has Ant-Man and Wasp, Skyscraper, Mission Impossible. Those seem like kind of the biggest summer movie blockbuster types.
Is it me or is Sicario coming out real fast? Like when they announced it to when it's actually scheduled to hit theaters. It's like a year.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they started making it right after the other Sicario.
I
I'm
never
sure that-
heard anything
Yeah.
about it until like a year ago. That they're like, oh hey, we're making a sequel or
Yeah.
a prequel.
Yeah, my guess is the production probably was kicked up pretty soon after the other one was successful. But I guess my point is, I mean, I don't know. There's a Deadpool, a Solo,
Yeah,
Ocean's,
there's a lot of good movies
Jurassic.
coming.
A lot of good ones, but does it feel like a great summer, though? I don't know.
I think Incredibles.
I think Ocean's 8 is going to do horrible
I agree.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Incredibles 2 and
Okay.
Jurassic
unless
World.
they put The Rock in it,
Yeah.
and then that movie will be the best movie.
Yeah, it's a cameo.
I don't think he fits the demo there. So
Yeah.
you think Incredibles 2 and Jurassic World what are going to be
They're
the
going to be
biggest?
kind of neck and neck to be the biggest movies of the summer, I think.
Okay, you don't think Solo? I mean, it's,
Solo could kind of go either way. I don't know.
yeah. I'm a little bit unclear about that. And I don't know, you know, Ant-Man and Wasp, I know it's a Marvel, but it just feels like it's, I don't know. We'll see. All right, when we come back, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to be interviewing a representative of the National Black Film Festival happening May 2nd through 5th here in downtown Houston. And we're also later in the show going to be rewinding movies that we've seen and talking about how you can win 2 tickets to the Grand Theater. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Movies never tasted so good. Wow.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern. Movies, meals, margaritas. These are all things you may be familiar with, but get ready to be reacquainted. Because Movie Tavern is revolutionizing the way America experiences eating, drinking, and cinema. We're doing it by providing a robust in-theater dining service, featuring chef-driven menus, premium quality food and drink, and luxurious seating that completely transforms your movie-going experience. Whether you're looking to spend your date night, family night, or girls' night out here, you'll get the premium, affordable experience you're looking for. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Hey, Montgomery County, it's me, C.C. Holmes. And I would personally like to take this time to invite you, that's right, you, to join me every Saturday and Sunday from 3 until 7 p.m., where I will bring you the very best of smooth jazz, classic jazz, and indeed, yes, the soulful sounds of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So come along and get jazzy with me. That's right, jazzy. Right here, of course, on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlongstar.com.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. Sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Oh, yeah.
If you missed this last segment, we did some movie news. We talked about Steven Spielberg still directing at the age of 71. We talked about Netflix, scary movies, and briefly mentioned some things coming out this summer. We are now joined in studio by a representative of the National Black Film Festival, Denisha Hardman.
Hey, second annual, bro.
Yeah.
Second annual, excuse me, sorry, I did not mean to downplay the second annual. It's May 2nd through 5th in downtown Houston at the AMC 8 Theater. You can go to www.nationalblackfilmfestival.com to find out more about that. Denisha, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing very well. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. We're super excited.
Yeah, all right. So we just really want to kind of let you talk for a little bit about the festival. Tell us, what are the things that we, like, I guess if we're somebody who'd never heard of it, what are the things that we need to know?
This is a movie show, so keep it movie oriented.
Yeah.
So this is, I'll try.
Yeah.
Keep it PG. So this is the second annual National Black Film Festival. I am the co-founder and the vice president. We founded it last year in 2017, and we were voted top 100 film festivals.
Really?
In our first
awesome.
year, right.
Oh, my goodness.
So we kind of just did it to be like, all right, let's see if we can do it. And it was voted top. Everybody ranked it high. So we were like, okay, we have to come back to the second film festival with a bang. So we are going to have it at the AMC 8 downtown. And we will also be having a lot of parties this year. Last year, we didn't really do a lot of parties, but this year, we're going to
You learned your lesson.
We learned our lesson.
This year, we're going to party.
We learned our, because people were flying in from New York, Detroit, LA, and we're from Houston. I actually live in Los Angeles.
You got to show them the cool parts.
Exactly.
That's right.
They were like, so where should we go party now after we watch all the movies? I was like, we didn't think about that part. So this year, we have a lot of parties going down at the Houston Museum of African American Culture, and that's about 5 minutes from AMC 8. So we're going to be showing a lot of short films, a lot of documentaries. We have people flying in that have been in the industry for a while. Terry Vaughn, who's on the Steve Harvey Show.
Yeah.
We have Alan Maldonado, who was on Black-ish. He's going to be in Superfly coming out this summer. And we're working on a lot of good people. We have Stacey Ike, who's on Oprah's Own. So it's a lot of them that are going to come in, bring information. We really want Houston to be a hub like Atlanta is, like Austin is, like LA is. So I kind of went to LA and kind of snuck in there and just kind of seen how they did it. And it's easy. So I was like, all right, let's do the film festival in Houston in our hometown. And me and J.O., the founder, put our heads together. And, yeah, we have some big, big stuff coming this year.
You know, I'm always surprised that Houston isn't more of or isn't seen as more of a hub
Right.
for that kind of stuff. I mean, we're a big city. We're so diverse in so many ways. There's money, there's industry, there's everything it seems like you would need for that. But for some reason, it just gets overlooked, it seems like. So, you know, glad that y'all are doing this to try to put it on the map a little bit more.
I think just the information isn't there.
Yeah.
I think people don't know how to distribute. People don't know how to write. They don't know how to sell their scripts. So that's why we have these people that do all these things come here and say, hey, this is how you get your movie sold. This is how you get in front of these execs. This is how you bring money here.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think the information, people know how to make movies here because
Okay.
I filmed here.
Yeah.
But they don't know what to do afterwards. They're like, what do we do? How do we get on Netflix? How do we get on Hulu? It's like, it's a process. So we just bring the information.
So now there's also a monologue competition. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I read this too late because I was going to get in on that. I was
What?
going to do one.
I might let you still do
That's
one.
right. See, I
Maybe
want to
I
pull a
could.
string because I want to see him do it.
Can you give me something now?
Oh, yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Can you give me
Off the
something?
top of my head. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I don't have anything memorized.
Oh, well, you're out. Sorry.
That's
Hey,
the thing.
Chris, it's
I
about
need-
performing when the moment calls.
It
Okay?
is.
You gotta be
I
ready.
have to have
I mean,
line readings.
There's not a Tim Allen monologue from the
Yeah.
Santa Claus. You don't know.
We're gonna skip that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
I
you-
probably do, but no.
If you're always ready, you never have to get ready.
Oh,
See, this
That's
could have been
true,
your
yeah.
opportunity.
Hey,
That's
guess
good.
what?
That's what I.
This is your free session right here, but you got to pay if you want a little bit more of that right there. So is the film festival, I know y'all going to watch stuff, you're going to screen things, but it seems like there's also workshops, and
Yes.
and so you're saying that some of it's about learning how to get stuff sold.
Yes.
So what all is included? If you went, you're not just going to watch.
No, you're not just going to watch the film. So we have two very, very important, my favorite workshops. We have the writing workshop, which Alan Maldonado is hosting. So he's wrote on Blackish. He's wrote on all these shows
Wow.
on HBO. So he'll be there to kind of tell you how to write a script. I know a lot of people, because I write scripts, they come to me, they slide in my DMs, they're like, how do you write a script? I'm like, oh no, we need a workshop for this. Because I can't, explain it over. You have to see it. You have
Yeah.
to work with somebody that actually does it every day. Then we have our acting workshop hosted by Troy Rowland. He was actually the acting coach on Lizzie McGuire.
Really?
So that's really cool. That's kind of how he got in the game. And then, he did a lot of Disney. And then he started doing like LaToya Luckett. And he's on the Set It Off tour right now. So we're very excited to have him. And we have two panels. We have the Women in Film and Entertainment panel. That's going to be a fun panel because I am a woman. And we want women to do other things outside of acting. You can be
Yeah.
a writer, you can be a director, you can be a cinematographer. So we have different women in different genres coming. And then we have the filmmaking and distribution panel, which is exactly what it is, learning how to filmmake and learning how to distribute.
Yeah, the women in film is definitely a very relevant thing right
Yes.
now, especially after all that, Golden Globes, Oscars, Frances McDormand stuff. And when you read the stats about like actor-wise, women are pretty well represented,
They're
but
the best.
behind the scenes, it's like the ratio of men to women on a movie set is like 93% is male or something like
Crazy.
that.
I don't think I've ever, and I've been in LA for about 6 years, I don't think I've ever worked on a set where like the women were like all in charge.
Yeah.
It's like speckles. Like, okay, one may be a producer, then you got a couple of the actors, but it's very, very man-based. And it changes the dynamic when there are more women on the set. Like, the dynamic definitely changes. Women are in charge.
Yeah.
So I really do, being a woman myself, I did learn how to write. I did learn how to produce myself. So I do want women to step outside the box. Because women always just think they can just be the actress. It's like, just going to be an actress, and that's it. I'm like, no, be a cinematographer.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I did a show on Netflix. I can't say the name yet. But I was so excited to see a woman cinematographer. I loved her. I hugged her every day. I was like, oh, it's a woman here. You're so awesome. She's like, yeah, this is rare.
Did you direct it or did you act in it?
I acted in it.
Okay,
I
cool,
acted
cool.
in
Can't
it.
say.
Yeah, I can't say yet.
Okay.
It's not
All
out yet.
Well, here, Denisha, tell us a little bit about you, because somehow you keep saying you lived in LA for a while. You've been in stuff. You've written, you've acted. You started a film festival. Tell us a little bit about you. Did you start here in Houston, or what? Kind of how did you end up here? How did you end up starting a film festival?
Well, I'm from here. I'm from Pearland. Go
Okay,
Oilers.
yeah.
And then I got a track scholarship to SMU. I've been acting forever, probably out the womb. And when I was at SMU, I got booked on this little movie called Django Unchained.
It's a very small, very small film.
Nice.
2 Oscars,
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, this small movie. And I actually met Samuel Jackson, who encouraged
What
me.
did you
to
do
move
on
to LA.
Django Unchained?
This was my very first movie. I was an extra, and I did stand-in for Kerry Washington because I was
Really?
really, really small, and the other stand-in we kept switching. So I actually made Quentin Tarantino laugh.
Really?
I said a little joke to him, and I made him laugh. So he was like, you're so funny. I was like, am I?
Oh, stop. Oh, Quentin.
Yeah. And I didn't know acting etiquette. I didn't know you weren't supposed to talk to everybody. I was like, oh, no, screw that. I love this guy. So I got to be behind the scenes when I was doing stand-in, and they actually encouraged me to move to LA, and that's where I wrote a best-selling book.
What?
Yeah.
What was your book?
It's called 8 Lanes. So it's
Okay.
I actually have a charity about it. It's about my life in college dealing with domestic violence and
goodness.
sexual assault. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually wrote the movie script first, and then I went back and wrote the book, and it became a bestseller.
Really?
So
Cool.
yeah. That. And then I also was in Straight Outta Compton. I was featured in that. And I've done
Another great movie. So
Another great
you
movie.
picked really well.
Basically, what you're telling us is you're too good to be on this show.
Oh my
exactly.
goodness, no! I'm not famous yet. Not
Okay,
yet.
not famous
In
yet.
a couple of months, maybe, but not yet. But I went to actually high school with the founder, and since I was doing so well in LA, and I would always come back here to film or do something with my charity, he was like, "Hey, I need you." I was like, "Of course you do. Of course you need me." But we put our heads together, and then we birthed the National Black Film Festival. So
Okay, man. Well, how cool is that?
I'm reading the press release for it. Now, one thing I want people to know is, or I want them to tell you to tell them, is how much money does it cost? Where do I show up? How do I get to be a part of this festival? It's happening May 2nd through May 5th in downtown Houston.
yes, so it is $1 million to get in. Just kidding. So it is.
Checks made out to Denisha Hardman.
Yes, checks made out to me personally. So we do have passes available. We have the VIP pass, which is about $250. You get to go to everything from the monologue slam, every screening, every panel, every workshop. Then we have the limited access pass, and then we have day tickets, and then we have the screening tickets, which are about $10. So you can find that at nationalblackfilmfestival.com. That's our website. You can follow us on Instagram at National Black Film Festival, and we also have the link in our bio for our Eventbrite. So the tickets aren't too bad, and we have, separate tickets for whatever you want to do, because it is a Wednesday through a Saturday. We have tickets for all the parties. We have an
So you can
all-black
buy
party.
like kind of a la carte
Yeah, you can
each
buy
thing.
everything, yeah.
Okay.
All-black party if you just want to come. My friend was like, listen, I just want to come party. I was like, well, we have a party pass. We have an all-party
Oh,
pass.
there's a pass just to go to the
just
party.
to go to the party.
I don't really care about movies, but man, do I party.
Well, the party is a good networking.
Okay.
We make sure we want you to network with
Yeah.
other directors, and
Where's your head at?
What?
he wants to come to the party.
Sorry.
Party.
I just want to party, man. I don't care about movies.
You got to come see them. It's some great.
So there'll be
films.
people from all over the country
All
there.
over the
People
country.
and there'll be directors, actors,
Oh, yeah.
writers, everything behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, we have international films. We have people flying in from Alaska. We have people asking about hotels. So it's awesome.
Now, how did you get the word out to the filmmakers, like to get films for the festival? I'm always curious about that.
So
side of it.
there are a couple websites where you can go and you have to kind of get through everything. And so we submitted our festival. So it's called Film Freeway, and they look at your festival. They look at your
okay.
past. Yeah, you have to be like a legit festival. And from there, as the better that you get, the more they promote you. But you put your whole festival on there, and you have a submission process.
And then directors, writers can
Right,
see that,
they
and
can
then they
see it.
submit to it.
So if you're legit, they'll send it down and say, hey, there's a new festival. Last year we got about 50 submissions, 60 submissions. Pretty good. This year we got like triple that. Yeah.
So did you have to turn some away at this point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We have to watch a lot of
I think
films.
that's why Chris was trying to pretend he was late. And
Exactly.
He got turned away?
yeah,
I swear, I didn't notice in time.
I think I did see your monologue slam entry. I think you did do something from the Santa Claus. I
I
remember.
did, but
I remember.
the guy didn't flip the cue cards at the right
See?
speed, and I was kind of
Oh,
came off more
man.
William Shatner-ish.
He
than
he
I
owns
should've.
Judge Reinhold's sweater, so he could have
Yeah.
put
I
that
did
on
actually,
for the
yeah.
monologue.
It's true.
Okay, no, Denisha, dumb question, but the National Black Film Festival, anyone can come, right?
Anyone can come.
Okay.
You do not just have to be black. We actually encourage everyone to come. Only submission process, you have to have somebody that is of the African American background, a writer or an actor, or just some directors. But to come, you can be anybody. We want everybody to come. We want other directors and people that want to learn about film, and you guys that like film. We're gonna invite you guys.
Okay.
So hopefully you guys get to come, just to network and see who else in Houston is doing what we all love to do.
So really, y'all are pushing for just diversity in general.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
awesome.
Yes, always,
Yeah.
always.
That's great. All right, well, Denisha, anything else you want to talk about the second annual
I'm telling you, gotta hit that.
National Black Film Festival? When it's like the 30th annual, we're gonna remember this moment, and when Denisha's famous on Netflix, we're gonna remember this moment.
Well, you got to come back every year.
Every year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Every
year.
year. Yeah, we're gonna lock that in right now. Every year you have
year.
to come back before the festival, no matter how popular you are, and talk with us.
Well, no matter how popular we are.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're all gonna be popular.
We're all blowing up. That's
We're
right.
all blowing up. Well,
Hey, but when you get the Netflix thing out, come back and talk to us about it.
I'll come
Because
back.
we
So
love
cool.
talking about movies on Netflix.
Now, is it a
and stuff.
movie or is it a series?
It's a series.
We'll talk about that.
Well, we don't talk about series, though, so we won't talk about that.
Yeah, never mind.
But I am
Movies
filming some
only.
movies. I am filming some movies that we're working on, and one is a horror film.
Cool. But don't shut it off halfway through, or else.
No.
Because you're a snowflake. You're a baby
They're
snowflake.
No, don't shut it off. It's more of a thriller, so,
Okay.
you know.
See, I like horror, not my thing, but thriller I do like.
It's Natural Born Killers meets Ghosts.
Okay.
Come on, you mean Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
No, not like sexy ghosts.
Okay.
You know, like mean ghosts. Because he's a hot ghost.
But like, is there the pottery scene though? Is there?
No.
Oh no. Okay, you
No
didn't
pottery
recreate
scene.
that. All right. Well, May 2nd through 5th in downtown Houston at the AMC 8, the second annual National Black Film Festival. If you want more information, the schedule, know who's coming, to buy passes, tickets, go to www.nationalblackfilmfestival.com. And even if you hate movies but you love to party, you can do that too. Yeah. Meet people. Come meet Denisha. Tell her that you heard about her on the ticket stub. Let her know that you're glad they're doing it. I'm just glad that stuff like this exists in Houston. I'm glad there's festivals. I'm glad that there's all this great kind of stuff. Yeah. Because I want the scene in this area to continue to.
Is it because you don't get invited to parties?
Also because I don't get invited, so I buy tickets. To
No, I
parties.
can buy my entry fee to a party.
Now you gotta buy VIP entry now.
Okay, I do.
Yeah, you
Then
gotta
I'd
get
be
VIP.
then I'd be really cool.
Then you
That's
can come
right.
back and show them pictures because they won't get in VIP. I'll just let you.
Well, why?
Hey.
Well, I
I
won't
like
get in.
that. I like that.
I
Sorry,
won't
Chris.
get in. My submission was that bad. I couldn't even get to
It
go to
was
the party.
pretty bad.
You're not actually allowed to even.
I'm not even
come
allowed on the
to
premises.
No one can
Yeah.
really
You know.
relate to Jen Reinhold's character from the Santa Claus, so people are like, "What's this guy trying to aim for?"
You should do Denzel from Training Day.
Ooh, there we
yes,
go.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure
People
I'll
call Chris Denzel all I like the other Denzel.
Yeah, like,
I love
oh, Denzel, please stop talking.
All right, well, we've got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about movies that we've seen over the last week and what we call the rewind. Denisha, thank you so much for coming and for being a part of the show. And everyone, make sure you check out second annual National Black Film Festival here in Houston. We're going to go to break. When we come back, like we said, we'll do rewind. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern. Movies, meals, margaritas. These are all things you may be familiar with, but get ready to be reacquainted. Because Movie Tavern is revolutionizing the way America experiences eating, drinking, and cinema. We're doing it by providing a robust in-theater dining service featuring chef-driven menus, premium quality food and drink, and luxurious seating that completely transforms your movie-going experience. Whether you're looking to spend your date night, family night, or girls' night out here, you'll get the premium, affordable experience you're looking for. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. We want to remind you that we come live every Thursday on 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Also, irlonestar.com is how you can hear us worldwide. You can go to irlonestar.com/TTS to find out all the information about the show, to find out past shows, social media, how to engage us there. You send us an email. You can also find us on Twitter at @the_ticketstub. Is the best way to keep up with the guests we've got, with when the shows are getting posted, with everything like that, and maybe even sometimes what we're watching for our rewind, which is what we're about to do next segment. Also, make sure you're subscribing to us on YouTube and all podcast feeds. The YouTube usually comes out over the weekend or Monday. The podcast comes every Friday at 8 a.m., so it'll be there for you Friday morning.
Well, we're working on YouTube Live.
Sorry, I didn't talk about that. Go ahead, Dick.
So the station is getting everything ready to go YouTube Live, and basically, hopefully next week we'll make the official announcement when everything's going to be kicked off. But if
Consider this the unofficial announcement.
So the unofficial announcement is subscribe to the Ticket Stub on YouTube, and soon you'll either hit the notification symbol. That way you'll get emails and stuff when we go live at 12 o'clock on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch the show live.
So anyways, we check out all that stuff.
Chris
Yeah.
is ready for it. He's going to hear you
Heck
makeup and everything.
Yeah, well, what are you trying to say? Yeah, well,
I just present myself well.
yeah.
If you missed us in the last two segments, the first segment
Okay.
we did movie news. We talked about some good stuff you want to check out. Last segment, man, that was a great interview with
Yeah.
Denisha Hardman from the second
Sure
annual
was.
National Black Film Festival.
What's that website?
www.nationalblackfilmfestival.com. You can check all that stuff out. So make sure that that you're invested in, or that you're checking. What's the word I'm looking for? Not invest, interview. No, looking into. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever the other word for that
I don't
is.
know what you're trying to say.
I don't know. I lost it. But anyways, make sure you're checking that out. Investigating was the word. Investigating the film festivals. Find out if there's anything there for you. I'd encourage you to go. We were actually talking during the break about how we're all interested in checking that out if possible as well.
I like to party.
Yeah, my name's Connor. I like to party. So what we're going to do now is rewind. We're going to talk about movies that we've seen over the last week. Chris, were you able to see a movie this week?
I was.
All right. What'd you get?
I saw a movie called Hot to Trot,
Okay.
which is
What?
I don't know, dude.
Where do you find this stuff?
on the internet.
On spackle.com, you find Hot to Trot.
Spackle.com.
I think it's Crackle. I don't know.
Crackle?
Yeah.
I think spackle.com.
Oh,
something
wow.
completely different.
This movie's old, dude.
It is. It's from 1988. It stars Bobcat Goldthwait as a stockbroker who profits from market tips overheard in the stables by his talking horse, Don. It's right up my alley.
I know. I'm just thinking about it.
It is. It's an hour and 23 minutes, which is cool. The budget that it had was $9 million. It only made $6 million
I wonder why.
in the theater. Yeah, I don't know. I love Bobcat Goldthwait. I don't know why this movie didn't do that well. But it's Bobcat Goldthwait. John Candy does the voice of the horse, which is cool. Dabney Coleman is in it.
This is a real serious drama.
No, it's a comedy.
I'm
It's a
just
comedy. Hey, but Burgess Meredith does the voice of the horse's dad.
Really?
Yeah, so that was cool.
Is Burgess was he from Rocky? Which one's Burgess
He's
Meredith?
from Rocky.
Okay.
Yes, from
Don't,
Rocky.
if you look up
Grumpy
Hot
old
to
man.
Trot, Google Images, it's
Don't do
like,
that. Don't do that.
It's a variety of the movie, and then it's like women in bikinis.
Okay. I would recommend not doing that.
Anyway, it gets a 0% on RottenTomatoes.com.
Oh, ouch.
But
Do they have a negative?
well, I don't know.
think
But like when you look at Google, 92% of the Google people who are looking at it, they like it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And on Rotten Tomatoes, the user reviews are really, really good. So basically, it's Bobcat Goldthwait whose stepmother dies, and she leaves him this horse who can talk. It's sort of explained in the beginning. And
The science of it is explained at the beginning.
it literally is the science of it is explained in the beginning. Not really
Well,
believable, but
You mean horses used to talk like 4 million years ago, and
yes.
and there's a reason why they chose
That is
silence?
Have you not seen? You've seen this movie?
I have not seen this movie.
No, that's pretty much.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
much what
That
it is.
yes.
horses could talk and they chose silence.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm in. I'm buying
And
it.
then they also allowed us to make them slaves and ride them everywhere.
oh yeah.
All right. So is this a good movie, Chris?
I loved it. Yes.
You loved it.
So yeah.
0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I loved it. It's great. Dabney Coleman is trying to
Man.
steal the business away from him, from Bobcat Goldthwait, and Bobcat Goldthwait hadn't done anything in like 3 years. I mean, I hope nothing happened, because I would really like for him to keep making movies.
Well, didn't he kind of start directing or something?
He did. He started.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started directing. I know he does a lot of voiceover work for like cartoons and stuff like that. But
It says 4.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which is also a poor score.
yeah, I don't agree with that.
They're all snobs.
That's true. They don't have the refined sense of humor that Chris has.
They don't. Yeah.
Hot to Trot. How did you watch? Did you rent this?
I rented it off of Amazon.
Okay. Was it? How much did it cost?
It was $2.99.
Was it worth every penny?
It was absolutely.
How
worth
did you
it.
find it?
I don't know. It was just sort of there. Like I was searching through
Whoa,
stuff.
whoa, man!
Did
So
Zuckerberg, was Zuckerberg involved in this?
Are you having like time loss scenarios?
No, I'm not. But
Were
I
you
just got
abducted?
I just got an
Memento?
Amazon Echo thing. So I've been playing with that, and that thing's always listening. So maybe I mentioned something about talking horses.
You're talking to your wife, and you're like, "Hey, you're hot to trot."
Yeah,
And it's like,
or
did you want to rent hot to trot?
I think
You know,
so.
she's not listening, so he had to get this device that does listen.
Okay. He needs someone. He needs someone to hear him. Okay, hot to trot on Amazon.
Yes,
if you care
That's
about
wonderful, man.
Bob Goldthwait, if you like talking horses,
I don't know how they make the horses talk because their lips move. I heard it was like peanut butter or
that's
something.
what I always heard from Mr. Ed.
But they open their mouths pretty
Whoa!
far.
I just thought about that.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and they open their mouths pretty far, and I didn't see any peanut butter, so I don't know if they just trained them. Like,
What
how to
did you,
do it.
Mr. Ed? Did you see peanut butter a lot or something?
Well,
it
I
was
don't
black
know.
and white, right?
Yeah,
So,
if it's in HD, you probably did.
All right, hot to trot. That's probably enough of this hot talk for hot to trot. Check it out on
It was
Amazon if you like.
Make sure to look it up on Google Images.
Yeah.
I promise.
Turn
you
off
will
safe
like
search first. Look it up, hot to trot.
Yeah,
Can we at least say it was a dumb funny movie? Will you at least go that far?
it's very dumb, yes,
Okay.
but very funny. And John Candy, even as just a horse, is always amazing.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Dick, did you see a movie this week?
I did.
What did you get to watch?
I
Hot
got
to Trot from
watch-
1988?
Well, actually, it's funny that I watched American Sniper, and I've never
Okay.
wanted to see this movie.
I love
but
how like the last couple months you've been like a year and a half behind of the new
Of, like, the big movies? Yeah,
like
no.
every movie you've talked about is like, oh, John Wick 2. Yeah, that one. You hear about that? Okay, American Sniper. What,
Well, American Sniper, it came out in 2014, directed by Clint Eastwood. Made a lot of money.
yeah.
Made over $500 million. It has Bradley Cooper, some other actors and actresses.
It has Bradley Cooper and other people actually.
So, well, the one reason I was watching this because I was waiting on Holly, and then I saw it was going to be on. So I was like, I've never seen that movie, and so I started watching it. And I will say the movie's it's okay.
okay.
And the only thing I would ask the listeners is they really like this movie because I know the story of Chris Kyle, but in the movie they didn't really show him kill a lot of people. Because apparently he killed a lot of people.
He was like the
that-
number one,
but
sniper.
I'm talking like over 100 people that are like we know for sure because they catalog that real serious.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm watching this movie and I'm like, wouldn't he be shooting a lot more people than just showing what they're showing in the movie? Because he was a Navy SEAL, which I didn't really see that much in the movie. What the difference between a Navy SEAL being in over there than what like in my mind what I think a Navy SEAL is like with Charlie Sheen. And so I didn't really connect that, and that's one thing I felt like maybe they didn't want to show that. Or
I think that wasn't really the point of the movie.
Well,
how many people he murdered with his sniper
I meant
rifle.
more of that. To me, that shows the impact of what was going on in his life.
Yeah.
Because there's only like 3 scenes really that he had. You know, he's looking down the barrel, going like, "What do I do?" Oh, you know, and
Yeah.
I get that. But I mean, if you're
Was
talking
this
about
the movie where the kid walks out into the street?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Twice.
Twice. That's tough.
And yeah, I mean, like those are great scenes. But then I kept thinking, all right, if we're gonna show this guy go through these horrible things, I mean, he shot over 150 confirmed kills as a sniper, and 4 tours. Like that's a lot of people. Like that's at least I don't know how long tours are. Like 9 months, I think. But I mean, if you do the math, he's killing at least 3 people a day or something like that. So I mean, I'm saying like you're the effect. I can see the effect of Chris Kyle's character going
So
further and further down.
they should have had a montage of him just like with
Well,
some like 80s music.
I guess. Well, because they were trying to do like a character. Well, no. I don't.
We need a hero.
I don't know how you would do it in the film aspect, but to me, knowing that number and seeing the movie, like it made sense why he was kind of losing touch.
Yeah.
Because he's there to protect his friends, and like I like that motivation, but to me, it's like you really want to understand the impact. Like imagine shooting somebody through a sniper rifle 150 times. It's a lot different than just shooting out who's shooting at you because he's rarely under fire.
Yeah, and he's like looking at him for a while.
Yeah, and then he's pulling trigger each time. So it's like
Was it this movie where there was some movie about snipers where they talk about how like you almost get to know the people because you're like a lot of times you're scoping them out for like waiting for the perfect moment.
Well, I think
but you may see him like read the newspaper. You may see him get a cup of coffee.
Well, yeah.
You may see him
And I wish I kind of understood that a little bit more, but I don't. And that's why I kind of felt the movie was disconnected to me at the end. Because they did, I mean, it's a great story. His story is a great story. But then again, he sadly was murdered. And then that, and to me, that was kind of like the ending. The ending just kind of ended. And it's like, oh yeah, the next day he died. And I go, whoa, all right. And then there goes that movie, I guess. But would I recommend this movie? I would say if you like sniper rifles and you like this kind of stuff.
Hey, we're in Texas here.
That's
so-
right.
Well, I mean, that's one thing I loved about his
Don't
character.
take my guns!
Because how much dip he was doing. I'm like, you know what's funny? I know a Chris Kyle because I know those kind of guys who are in the Marines and like they just dip and like they're really fun. They're really good people. And so if this was trying to be a movie about, you know, these Americans are going or these soldiers are going through something and they need help, I think that was a great thing because it showed his up and down. Because at the very end he started helping people, and that's what he chose to dedicate his energy towards.
I always hope that if they ever make a movie about my life, someone like Bradley Cooper plays me. You know, that's flattering.
I can
it's
see
a
that.
way to honor.
That's flattering.
It's a way to honor the life. You know, have Bradley
so
Cooper.
you want Bradley Cooper to play you? Who would you, Dick? Who would you have play you?
Well,
in
hold
a
on,
movie
but
about your
only
life?
if it's like in the next 5 years. Like, if it's more than 5 years, Bradley Cooper's gonna have lost it by then. So I want whoever the next guy is.
Oh, okay.
You know, the next Bradley Cooper.
Who would people think I'm like David Spade? So I have to go with that.
Oh, cool. I have no idea who'd play me.
I think Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
modern Bobcat Goldthwait.
That's-
Or
yeah,
of course
fair.
Tim Allen.
Oh
yeah,
that would
for
be
sure.
That would be a true homage.
Yeah, it
a
would.
true homage. What do you think about the baby scene? Because remember how much?
Oh, how fake the baby was.
Yeah, remember how much
Well,
publicity
you know,
that got?
that is one thing I would love to hear from our audience is every scene the wife was in, she was complaining about him, complaining to him about not being a father, and I'm thinking there's got to be more scenes with her to show more dynamic because why is he still with this woman?
If all she did was
It's
complain.
all like literally almost every scene, and there's a couple scenes where he was on the phone with her in the middle of the
In the
battle.
middle of the battle.
And I'm like, and she said, I can't get over that. So because I don't believe that happened, but it might have happened. But I mean, I just don't believe it could happen. But then every scene she was in, face to face, it's like she literally justified her being more important than the war he's been in.
Oh yeah.
And that was crazy to me. I was like, whoa, lady. He's like helping people, and she's like, you just don't care about us.
Hey, nagging knows no bounds.
You think so? That
Oh,
sounds like someone from experience. No, trust me, I've been dating Holly for 2 years, and I love it. But no, that kind of
Could you
blew me
totally
away.
could you totally see her calling you in the middle of a battle and?
Yeah, complaining to me about when I'm coming home. I mean, but no, really, that kind of threw me off too because they loved each other, from what
Yeah.
I understand. I'm like, come on, just give her more scenes that make her more of a loving wife. And towards the end, of course, she became a loving wife, and I was like,
You know, again, it's what they call that Bechdel test, which is like, what is the role of a woman in the movie? It's to show how sexist we all are. You know,
Rectal test?
yeah, the rectal. No, that's a different one. The
Bechdel.
Bechdel,
Oh,
Bechdel, and it's about like basically, is there a woman? Does a woman talk to another woman about something other than a man? That's basically the
Yeah.
test of the movie, and it's just because like basically the point is most movies use women just as like props to hold up the man or to like show a dynamic with the man, and they don't actually have their own part. I feel like this movie is a perfect example of that, where this wife only exists in
And
this
that
movie.
baby.
Which I know that the man was the main character, so obviously it's gonna be about him. But she didn't even really have a personality. Her personality was just like kind of upset, angry, sad.
yeah, no, I'm like, can you like? Majority of her scenes were saying, "Why don't you come home? You don't care about us. They need their father and things like that." And like literally, while he's on the phone with her while shooting people.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I guess I have to be there to believe this kind of stuff because it is sad that they're
And then it ended with like the modern or with the footage from like real life, didn't it? And like right in the
ended
credits.
with the actual funeral.
Yeah, that stuff always,
Which was crazy.
That stuff always gets me. When it cuts to real life at the end of movies.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think also again, like, we can stop talking about this movie, but that was a disconnect for me
Okay.
too. Is they kept calling him the legend and all this stuff, but in the movie when you see him do what makes him a legend, I didn't make the connection of why is he such a big deal.
We need a hero.
You know what I'm talking about?
Smash cut.
But
smash
do
cut.
you
smash
know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about when I
yeah.
say it? Because I was like, if you read
I
his
think it's
book,
assuming that you kind of just are accepting that when you walk into the movie. You know, like they're not going to do all that groundwork. They're just saying like, he was this. So anyways, type
yeah,
of thing.
I just didn't. I mean, I wish they. We don't need a montage of him killing a bunch of people. Okay, what I'm just saying, like, I wish there was
Team
some.
America when they're like, we
there
need a
should-
montage.
Well, there should have been a scene or a couple scenes with higher up saying how important his role is.
Yeah.
On the battlefield, because there's only scene that they really yell at him is because he took the shot to kill this bad sniper, but it made them exposed. And that was the only scene that I saw in the movie that like they actually put pressure on him because was that a questionable call or not? and he put 9 lives in danger, basically, just to kill this one guy who's been killing a lot of people. So he made the shot. He called it because everyone's like, "It's up to you, Kyle." And he's like, "Okay, got him. All right. Oh crap! Now we're exposed.
Yeah.
Now we're surrounded."
All right. Well, American Sniper. Check it out. That's the title, right? American Sniper.
I think if you're interested in
Okay.
Chris Kyle, I mean, that's the only way. They have to make another movie about him because I didn't feel like this did justice.
Yeah, we'll see. That'd be interesting to think if they make another one. All right, I watched a movie called Andre the Giant. This is a documentary on HBO. It just came out last week.
I am really interested to see this.
It is directed by Jason Hehir. I don't know, Hehir. He basically has done a lot of the 30 for 30s that ESPN was involved with. So this includes, it's a documentary, but includes interviews with Robin Wright and Carrie Elways from Princess Bride. It's got Hulk Hogan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Vince McMahon. It's got everybody. It's got so many people in it. IMDb says that it's just a look at the life and career of professional wrestler Andre Ruzumov, who gained notoriety in the 1980s as Andre the Giant. Well, what I'll say, man, this is really, really good stuff. Like, the documentaries, I think it's almost in some ways, if you have like a decent storyline and you execute decently, a documentary is good, you know. But this, I think, goes over the top, really well made. Just real quick, do y'all have like what are y'all's memories of Andre the Giant? Because for me, by the time I was really like coherent, you know, he was mostly the wrestling was done. I mean, Princess Bride was probably one of the big things, and then just kind of him being in the zeitgeist for me. But Chris,
Yeah, I mean, I was when I was a little kid, wrestling was like the coolest thing in the world, and I remember seeing him back in the day doing that. So that was always cool. And I had a little WrestleMania video game, and we would always play him, and he was like too heavy for the other guys to lift up.
He was like
and stuff
overpowered.
Yeah, it was really cool. And of course, Princess Bride, he's awesome. But in the documentary? Do they go into the checking the oil?
No,
They don't. Okay, well, all right. Well, anybody look that up on Google.
Yeah, look that up on Google Images.
Yeah.
Google image checking your oil.
Yeah, Andre the Giant checking the oil. So that's an interesting story of something.
No, I actually saw
he did.
that. All right, I saw the
seen this?
document. Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it.
really good, right?
It was really interesting
Yeah.
because I actually was not around during the wrestling time, and
Yeah, me neither.
and that to me, I was like, that makes so much sense how it became so big with
Yeah.
with a person like that.
He was really part of why wrestling became so, like,
Yeah.
the rise of wrestling and Andre the Giant are like equally, they're like yoked together as they both came up. And what's amazing is to hear how famous he was. Like the most famous guy in the world. Like they were talking about like Muhammad Ali, Andre the Giant. And now I feel like people still know him. Like people know who he is, but the level of fame. Just this larger than life person.
And it sounds like he was just a really great guy.
In every interview with everybody, basically.
I like to party.
Yeah,
he did like to party.
If he liked you, then he was the nicest. Then he was like the nicest guy in the world. Yeah, all the drinking stuff
So
is,
he gave
he's
that oil
kind of a
change.
legendary drinker. So all that was there. It was kind of interesting. I'm not a big wrestling guy, but to see the evolution of wrestling, that was tied into this whole story because again, the rise of wrestling really came with the rise of Andre the Giant. But ultimately, it's kind of a tragic story. He died at like age 41.
He didn't look it though, man. He looked old.
He looked terrible there at the end.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's just like when you're that size, like your body you're not meant to be like that. But it's kind of sad to see the way that it all ends up. But it's really sad, I think, in a kind of compelling, heartfelt way. I thought it was really good. Definitely watch. You don't need to care about wrestling to really think this is a good movie, in my opinion, because I don't care much about wrestling. I mean, wrestling's a through line, but really it's just to tell his story. And seems like a really, really great guy. It makes me kind of sad that he's not. I never would have thought, like, oh, man, Andre's. But you watch this and you're like, man, we really are missing out with him not being around anymore. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got to wrap this show up. Andre the Giant on HBO. Chris, you talked about Hot Trot, rented on Amazon. Dick, how did you watch American Sniper?
It was on TV, so somewhere.
So some channel on TV. Just everyone check
I
your
probably
TV.
watched like an edited version, so I missed all the cool montage stuff.
There actually was all the killing montages, but they just edited it for
I mean, it's a
TBS.
lot of people to kill with a sniper rifle, and I think he killed like 10 people.
It's a lot. Reminds me of my Halo days back playing Xbox.
Yeah, totally the same thing.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. All right, so for next week's grand tickets, a little question here. In honor of the movie Rampage and The Rock, what was Dwayne Johnson's original wrestling
Did you get the person who won this week?
No, I didn't see anybody post. Did somebody post?
Yes, they did.
Oh, man.
Dang it. Oh.
All right, so while you're looking it up, I want to remind folks we're going to be doing a live taping this Sunday at the Grand.
The 22nd.
Watching Rampage at 1 o'clock. Following immediately after Rampage, we're going to be recording and taping the show in the lobby of the Grand Theater. So get your tickets, come see us, come join with us, and then you might be able to be on the air. And I'm really excited about seeing this movie because nothing like a big old gorilla just knocking stuff down, and Dwayne The Rock's in it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the winner of tickets for last week. Sorry, I missed this. It's Warner Phelps, who I actually know him. And what it was in Fantastic Mr. Fox. What did they do to make cursing more family friendly? The answer was they used the word cuss. So they would say like, "You cussing cuss," things like that. And so Warner, congrats! You got 2 tickets to the Grand Theater Movie Tavern. Sponsor of the show, Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good. For next week, we're all going to check out Rampage at the theater show. So make sure to come see us at the Grand in Conroe Sunday. The movie's at 1. Taping will be after the show, about 3 p.m. That'll do it. Make sure you check out NationalBlackFilmFestival.com to see everything they've got going on there. And again, special thanks to Denisha Hardman. My name is Connor. For Chris, for Dick, we are signing off here on the Ticket Stub.